So, welcome to our theme this morning, how to relax. And let's first start with our bodies. If you're seated, finding some alignment with your shoulders and head over your hips, allowing your hands and arms to be at rest in your lap. I like to have my palms face up. I'm placing my feet on the floor, just feeling a base of stability. And if you happen to be sitting on the floor, just feeling your sits bones or feeling your legs. Taking a few moments to allow breath in and out. And you have arrived. And you can arrive further in this moment, coming into this moment together for the sake of a mindful and heartfelt pause. Gathering your attention, just noticing if there's other places and times, maybe in the past or the future, where you might be tugged and pulled. Maybe something that's worrying you or something you're thinking about that might be happening soon. Seeing if you can come into you and into your breath. Into this moment where we can choose where we place our attention and we can choose to be kind. If you feel comfortable, you can allow your gaze to lower, and if you'd like, you can close your eyes and just see what you notice. Allowing whatever is present on the inside, in the inner life, just to be there. Any sense of physical sensation, areas in your body or in yourself that might feel open or closed. Just allowing yourself to be where you are in your breath. Allowing any feelings to be present. And seeing to what degree this morning you can practice an acceptance of what is there for you today. And if there's any sense of gratitude that you can bring into this moment, perhaps simply a gratitude that you are alive, you're breathing. And yes, things are in process. They're not done. Many things may be happening. Just seeing maybe one thing or two things you might feel grateful for this morning. Just acknowledging those silently and internally. Noticing how the silence feels this morning. Sometimes if you're in a busy household, or if you have very busy or quick thoughts, it can sometimes feel a little uncomfortable just to have silence. So just invite each of us to get comfortable with the space. Just for a few moments. Comfortable with the choice to give yourself some space. It's safe to pause and to move even for a few moments into a mode where you're not in time, counting time, watching time, squeezed by time. Just sitting and breathing, allowing. and being. So our theme today is how to relax. And the first offering I have for us today is to not try and do anything to relax, not try and work at it, not try and figure it out, not try and change anything or shift in and out or do it. Let's just practice breathing room. Breathing room as we feel all the feelings. All the feelings. Any grief, joy, tension, happiness, sadness, anger, whatever the terrain. Just noticing how some of these chemicals, emotional chemicals, can get balanced actually quite quickly if we allow them to be there. Allowing any thoughts, any ways that you tug at yourself to go back into something that's happened. Maybe it's something that you're still digesting, still worried about, still thinking about, still is not resolved. Or perhaps there's something that really is in the future. You're not sure how you're going to do it. You're not sure how to do it. Not sure what's going to happen. You don't know the end of the story. Anything tugging at you in the future. Just any thoughts. Allowing those to be there too. Just sort of let them pass like clouds. There's a little tug from this direction, a little tug from that direction, and not fighting that, just being in your body and your breath in this moment together in this group. Not fighting the thoughts. And just noticing how some of those brain chemicals can also just soften and even to some extent dissolve when we don't engage and grasp. And we're practicing different behavioral chemicals right now. We're practicing not just looking outside us and not just counting or listing tasks or interacting and seeing what's needed, responding. We're practicing a different behavior right now, which is attending with an openness and practicing tolerance while we might feel a compulsion to do something, be something, say something, get someplace. And we're practicing our tolerance to just come back, come in, and give ourselves the greatest gift, which is just who we are in this moment, not who we want to be, not where we want to get to. And just, it's okay for us to be where we are. Honestly present. Letting it all be there. The doubts, the fear, the heartbreak, the hopes. Just let yourself be yourself for a few moments. And this is one way to relax. Just want to acknowledge that what I'm inviting you to do this morning is a certain level of surrender. a certain level of letting go of your ego. And it is a practice which requires some strengthening and strengthen the muscle to disempower and release our ego. We do a lot of things to empower our ego. We need a healthy ego. We need a strong ego. We need good emotional health, good boundaries. But we also want to release the parts of our ego that do not serve us, that keep us separate and alone and afraid. So we're disempowering those aspects of our ego, letting go of separation. Just feeling a little bit of oneness as much as we're able to, maybe 10% today, maybe 15%. Feeling in this moment connected with everything there at the same time. I invite you to feel safe. In the moment. I invite you to expand. And forgive yourself for any ways that you might not be able to hear anything. You might not be able to follow any instructions. You might not think you're doing it right. So there's no doing it right. There's no doing it wrong. We can't do it ever all the time the right way. There's no right way. Just letting yourself be. Don't pick on yourself. Don't push yourself around. Just sitting together in this moment. We'll just sit for a few moments of just being and breathing. And if you notice that there's anything where you're judging or constricting, or that's okay. I'm giving you a big invitation this morning. It's okay not to do this the first time you get invited to do this, or the second time, or the 50th time, or however many times in your life that you may have invited yourself to let go. It's okay if you can't do it. And it's okay if you can. So we'll sit for a few breaths together. Noticing any tension in your eyes. Just seeing if you can breathe and surrender just a little more in silence. Releasing your tongue, releasing your belly. And completing our meditation this morning, just like to leave a explicit invitation to forgive inside and outside. So you can have your own freedom, your own new experience in this next moment and this next moment. Well, that's for us. It's not for other people. It's mostly a forgiveness of ourselves. But there is a gift we receive when we are forgiven. So one of the greatest gifts that we can receive, besides someone being present with us and being with us, is also receiving the gift of being forgiven, which is sometimes a gift we receive, and sometimes we don't. But we can always learn to practice how to forgive ourselves. And perhaps that allows more forgiveness to come in from all sources. So beginning to wiggle your toes and wiggle your fingers. And as I complete my meditation, and when we meditate in the clinic in the morning with our staff and our providers, I often will put my hands over my head, and I always just spontaneously yawn whenever I put my hands over my head after I meditate. It's just a natural yawn, and move your body in any way that feels good. Oh, coming back to the rest of your day or the rest of your evening, if you choose to listen to this recording at a later time. I invite you to revisit this attitude and way of attending in the future, if that feels right for you. You can also press pause during the silent time, so you can have that extended time if you'd like. Thank you.